So today's episode on this podcast is we're going to talk about empaths. So, empath. So, there's, for me, different types of empaths. Like, because I'm the nature person, there's like earth empaths, there's plant empaths, and it's all really got to do about how you feel being amongst others, being amongst nature, like what happens to yourself. So for instance, if you're like, you find that person that comes and unloads all their garbage onto you, and you know they're coming, and you're going, oh, I can't take that anymore. I just can't take all that, because you take it home with you and you can't stop thinking about it. And that's a little about being an empath, is you can feel them coming. Like you can feel that they've got lots of, whether it's fear or unhappiness or anger, you can feel them coming. That's part of an empath.
Yeah. Yeah, and also like even with the empath is you can also feel the opposite, like because sometimes you can get somebody that's very high vibration and it's almost a little too much and too
Sure.
overwhelming for someone as well. And it's just even touching things or like transfer of energy. Like there's some people kind of going back to empath is like where they can touch a tree and you can just almost feel your stuff being absorbed in that tree as well. Like, and it does, like empathics usually do respond to nature because nature is like a very healing
You
energetically.
think?
Like, because it's even getting grounded. Like a lot of times you're told to like take off your shoes and like physically touch the earth.
You know, and Ron is 1,000% correct, because nature is very good for many, many reasons for humans. I want to, like, empaths, you kind of know the, if you have, like, if you find you're always exhausted, you're always, like, anxious, high energy, you're always kind of vibrating, or you burn out really quick, or you just find being in a room with lots of people, you, it's not your thing. You find yourself stopping to going into big crowds, whether even if it's in the movie theater, if it's at a concert, because it's too overwhelming. And there's a good chance that you're a little bit of an empath.
Yeah.
But there is
And
good things about being an empath. I mean,
oh,
you know,
for sure.
like you feel like you can you feel really deeply, you know, and you're healthy because you look after yourself. You pay attention to how your body is, and you just believe in overall, like looking after self and others. Like your senses are very in tune to that.
Yeah. Empathics usually too are very, I want to say, open to the different vibrations energetically. Like a lot of times you can anticipate somebody else's needs before what they need as well. And this is where the whole self-care part takes in because sometimes we want to carry the burden or kind of stop other people from making a mistake because you know the impact that it could have. And sometimes, so a lot of times it feels like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. And that's one of the hardest things for an empath is it's like to recognize that their stuff is their stuff and you can't carry that burden over.
Yeah, that's a hard one, especially if you don't know you're an empath. That, Stop from taking on others' energies. That's a big one. And you're going to go, well, how do I stop that? Well, both Rhonda and I teach how to do that in our courses. But it's just a matter of learning to shield yourself. And again, here we go with Mother Earth. Mother Earth is very good about taking, if you let her take your negativity, she'll return it with positivity. She loves to clear. The thing with, I'm going to kind of start a little bit talking about, do you guys ever pay attention to if weather changes? Can you feel a storm coming? Can you tell it's going to rain? What about winter? If you're around winter, like some of us are, and snow, can you feel it? Like, how do you feel if you go, like, you have to trust yourself, how do you feel when you stand near a waterfall? Do you feel like you can breathe? Is it clearing? And in the city, like, some people love the hustle bustle of the city, or do you find it very stifling? Like, you feel very closed in. You feel you can't take a good deep breath. You don't, like, that's a little bit about empath. I was going to say empathy, but that's not the word I want. So, and even like, using Mother Earth for a lot of different things, like for clearing, like Rhonda said, going for walks, putting your feet in the water if you can. Like, it's just really about paying attention to the different earth elements. Like, if you can feel even the hurricane, tornadoes, like the energy changes in the air. How does your body change? But I call that is like an earth empath. That's just another way of the type of empath you are. Like, we're all I shouldn't say all. Like, I do believe we are at some point an empath. It's just a matter of how much we understand.
Yeah.
I mean,
And what you might find too is a lot of empaths tend to go into the healing arts because they're in tune not only necessarily with their body but for others. So a lot of times what you might feel is warming of the hands, or I say, like, a lot of people, like, I don't know Reiki at all. I'm not certified in Reiki, but what I have noticed is I can scan a body and know, oh, okay, there's some blockage here because my hands will start to get warm or like, so I know that I have to pull some stuff out. And I think a lot of people naturally do a form of Reiki or energy healing and not quite understanding why.
yeah,
And what will happen too is sometimes, I want to say, a headache, just for example, is like if you're around somebody with a headache and all of a sudden you might be very empathic and not quite understanding what it is or knowing what it is, but again, it's kind of talking about that absorbing, is like you'll take on that headache for that person and not knowing why or even how.
yeah,
And that, and a lot of times that means you're spiritually attuned to that. So it's like it's that vibration that just gravitates towards you.
well, yeah. Eh, And another thing is like, and like Rhonda said, like, you're attuned to things. Like, for instance, are you attuned to plants? Is your house, do you have lots of plants? Do you like gardens outside? Like, it means that plants are very good for you. Like, I mean, they help you to keeps your energy good, keeps you on level ground, because plants are constantly clearing. And the more you touch them, the more clearing they do for you. So If you're a big plant person, there's a reason, so they're very good for you of clearing.
Yeah.
And if you've never really thought about it, start. If you're having a moment of anxiety or a bad day, go play with the plant leaf. And if you have plants in your house, or play with the leaf, and you're going to say, well, what if it dies? It'll grow another. It's okay, because you're giving it your negativity and it's going to return it with positivity, and it's okay. But that's why we say go outside and lean on a tree. A tree is very clearing. And it's
Yeah.
very good for empaths, for any empath.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then that also kind of leads back to like kind of how do you project out to others? Like what words are you using? Like your thoughts and words are powerful. And it's kind of always best to try to keep it in an optimism form of
Stay positive.
words. Because what happens is the pessimist will start to kind of lower your vibration down, and then you kind of start playing the what if game. So it's just like it's not denying, I want to say denying bad things that will happen, but it's what is your reaction to it and how to do it. So it kind of goes back to like an abundant mind source versus a scarcity mindset, to where it's like, what's my outcome? Where do I want to go? And then, so before, like, I'm very highly empathic, like, where it is almost where I don't like going out in public, especially with malls and stuff. I was always the type of person at Christmas. I would do my Christmas shopping in like July and be done. Because the energy, as much as I like Christmas, I found that with the mall, people were so stressed and like checking off the Christmas, like getting their Christmas stuff. So it was like bringing my vibration down around Christmas. So what I started doing when I kind of learned about this thing is I would ask Archangel Michael and Raphael to clear out the space for me, that so anything with when I would come into play with anything or anybody around, that I was getting like higher vibrations and not feeling the stress so much.
Yeah, well, see, before I even knew what I was about, but now looking back, I realize even if I went to a concert or something, I'd find I would stand where there was nobody. I'd try to be away from everybody. Like if we were on the floor of a concert, I'd be at the back where as everybody else is sitting in the seats on the floor, as I'm standing in the back, because I, for whatever reason, the energy was just not for me. It was too much. Now I understand and I know how to shield myself. I'm still not the greatest in, tight spaces or like big concerts, or that's still something that I would rather miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's about how you pick up things and don't really understand, or even in a classroom, you can, if you sit in the front, you can feel all the energy behind you move and come to you. That's sometimes why you sit in the back. It isn't always because don't pick me, which is a lot of times, yes. But it's just that you would rather have your own energy.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I found like when I go to restaurants, which kind of out of creature of habit too. I only go to certain restaurants because I know the layout. They get to know me. They kind of, when available, they know what spot I like. Because I don't like being, especially in a restaurant, I don't like being in the middle because I'm getting it like 360. So
Yep.
even though I protect myself, but sometimes I just find that it's just too much still. And I'm just like, I like to kind of be in a corner or someplace because I find there's like energetically there's a block, but there's a physical block.
Yeah, well, I'm
Wow.
hoping this all makes sense to everybody. You're going, oh, well, that happens to me, right? And now you understand, and then it's just a matter of learning how to shield yourself
Yeah.
so that you don't take on everybody else's energies. So, are we going to pull a card, Rhonda?
Sure.
Do you have cards there?
I do. I do. I'm just being all right. So, oh, there we go. Tranquility. So it it literally flew out, you guys. I couldn't make this stuff up. So shielding is actually kind of part of like tranquility. It's finding peace with yourself and kind of just being able to step back, relax, and kind of I want to say give yourself permission and grace to be like their stuff is their stuff. My stuff is my stuff. Now, this doesn't mean to stop saying you can't help a person, but understanding that you need to create boundaries and they still have to go through their stuff. You can give assistance and guidance if they ask for it, but don't feel like the need, it's like, oh, I gotta fix it so their life becomes better than doing your own stuff. And a lot of times with empaths is they tend to be people pleasers as well. But it's just like so the card is like tranquility and it's just like it's just being at peace and giving yourself peace to like let yourself unwind and relax.
Oh, good message though for before Christmas.
Yep.
Just saying. So have a great week, everyone.
Yes. Take care.